I've been seeing my therapist for over 20 years.
Oh, wow.
So
We have a lot of money.
she's got a lot of money, and we got a lot of history. She knows everything about me.
Is therapy a scam?
I don't think so. No, I think everybody should be in therapy.
20 years? It's like, do you think after like 5 you'd figure it out?
No, you're not trying to solve something.
You're not?
No, you're just being your best self all the time, learning more. There's always more to learn.
Is America a Christian country?
I hope not.
Why?
Because I'm a proud Jew. I don't want to live in a Christian country. I want to live in a place where there's a separation of church and state.
Which we have.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Why don't you go live in Israel? Or maybe if you want a secular country, go to live in China. Like, can you imagine a Christian going to Israel and saying the same thing? Like, I don't want to live in a Jewish nation. It would be labeled instantly as anti-Semite. Same thing in an Islamic nation. The difference is they put you in prison or they just cut your head off. But in a Christian country, we let these people say these things without consequences. And that's the problem in Europe, America. We let people say whatever they want against our countries, our faith, our people, without consequences. Let me know, guys. Should she get deported to Israel or maybe China? Let me know.
It's on the books.
You think that they're trying to impose Christian values?
Yeah, I do.
Like who?
It's really not my jam to name names and talk about this. I believe I was taught freedom and independence.
Sounds like you don't believe that.
I think there's a lot of women's and reproductive rights that are being taken away. Trans and queer community rights that are being taken away.
Do you think kids should have access to transgender surgeries?
That is a misunderstanding. Anybody that is a minor that is seeking gender-affirming health care is usually psychological in nature. So that's an irrelevant question.
That doesn't exist?
Correct. It doesn't exist. Nobody's going to do a surgery on a minor.
What about medication? Should children have access to HRT and testosterone?
I am not an expert, but I believe if an individual that happens to be under 18 years old has been going through a process with a doctor, this is way more than a minute, by the way, they should be able to pursue whatever their team decides is right for them. Yeah.
Their team?
Their team, their medical team. Yeah.
Okay. Gender-altering medication, really, for kids?
Are you going to talk to me about like Christian values the whole time? This is way more than a minute, and I'm not interested in that conversation.
Okay, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. You can leave if you want.
Well, what's the wrap-up process?
Nothing. It's just. That's it. If you want.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
What a stupid bitch. Let's go to Nick.
You forgot your phone. Yo.
I literally just reached for it. You should really get a process together for introducing and closing.
Okay, is America a Christian country? How so?
Founded by Christians and was born from Christian civilization. England, Germany, France, Ireland, Italy. You know, because when you think about it, America is named after an Italian explorer, Amerigo Vespucci.
Right.
Columbus discovered the Americas. The original colonies were founded by Christian separatists like Puritans and people that were against the Anglican Church. And all the early immigrants, whether from England, Netherlands, Sweden, Germany, they're all Christian. So,
Was Amerigo Vespucci Protestant or Catholic? Probably Catholic, right?
Yeah, Italian. Why, do you think it's Muslim or something?
No, I don't. There's freedom of religion. Obviously, America's not a Muslim country.
I don't know.
You see, Rumble now has ads about radical jihadists are taking over
Really?
America. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like Matan Evan was saying, oh, you became Muslim to get a Rumble deal. It's like, look at the ads. They're saying radical jihadists are ruining this country. No, yeah, obviously I'm not saying it's a Muslim country, but America. And what about the freedom of religion that we have?
That's the thing. I mean, if you go back to the intentions of the founders, I don't think they intended that the country was going to have non-Christians living here in significant numbers. Because you got to keep in mind, at the time of the founding, Constitution, Revolutionary War, the 1780s, this is at the height of European empire. Or maybe a century before the height of European empire, but like the idea that we would have a significant number of atheists, Muslims, Jews, even for that matter, is unthinkable. The same goes for racial diversity. So, I mean, I go back to Federalist number 2, written by John Jay. He talks about America's adversaries and foreign influence, and he says this is one country for one people, one religion, one ethnicity, all this kind of stuff. So I think its character, Christianity, is inextricable from the country. Do you disagree?
I see your point. It's just, I've also seen Thomas Jefferson mention.
Right? Do you have to share?
Yeah, we're sharing.
Yes. Okay. There you go. I'm gonna bring some.
There's a quote, I think, in Jefferson's autobiography where he talks about how America's for all religions, and he even says Mohammedans. That's what they used to call Muslims back then.
Yeah. I hate Jefferson.
You don't like Jefferson?
Not a Jeffersonian. I'm a Hamiltonian.
What about Washington?
Love Washington.
Super base. What is it about Jefferson you don't like?
I don't like his ideology.
He was more Enlightenment?
Yeah, he was a libertarian, basically.
Was he Christian?
No. He was
Jefferson
a deist. You know, the thing about Jefferson, he thought that farming makes people virtuous. He thought that working the land, like there's something inherent in that builds character. And then, you know, there's some truth to that, because you have to wake up at the crack of dawn, you sow the field and reap the harvest, and you're sort of in tune with nature, you're hardworking, you're disciplined, it's like physical labor, so it makes you robust. So he envisioned a country of like, literally of farmers. Yeah. And that goes with self-government, because if you're on a farm,
you don't
kind
need
of
to
like the king of your own,
right.
You know, whatever. Whereas Hamilton said, no, the power's in the cities.
Oh, that's okay.
So that's why I'm Hamiltonian.
Yeah, you made a great... I say these points all the time, and people get really upset. I said one of my favorite things about New York City is the multiculturalism. You said...
Yo, Sneako is so Muslim that he's even eating with his hands. Yo, Sneako, congratulations, you became officially a Muslim. Like, what the fuck, bro? That's crazy.
Something similar, how all the Trump people, they moved to Wyoming after 2020 election was rigged, and then they're calling DC all the time like, hey, how's it going? How's it going? It's like they go away alone on their farmland around whites only, and they get bored out of their mind. Mm-hmm. You say that, people are like, yeah, that's true. We like cities and interacting. I say that people...
And before you say something about Nick, Nick is eating bread, okay? You can eat bread with your hands. This guy is doing everything with his hands.
Say that I'm destroying the white race.
No, they were mad at me too. They said, oh, you're a hypocrite, and Ricardo Duchesne said Americanism is multiracialism and it always will be. In a bad way, he meant it. And I mean, it's the uncomfortable reality that these people don't want to acknowledge, which is that liberal capitalism is very attractive. Like the country that America is very desirable and attractive, and it is the way it is for a reason. It's because people like it. That's why they vote for it lately.
So what are your thoughts on multiculturalism?
You know, I like it in moderation. We kind of got a good thing going now, but I don't like the idea that there's going to be no monoculture. There's like no center. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, America's good if it's like America with some other stuff, with some spices and ingredients. But if it's like there's no America and it's all diversity, then it's like, okay, well, what even is this now?
Yeah, I believe any country in Europe, US, Canada, Australia, all the Christian white countries should be able to be 90% native. And then some people, because, you know, a little bit of diversity is not that bad, you know? You can let some people in just to spice it up a little bit. But I believe the majority, 90% plus, should be native, definitely.
You want to keep it as a minority?
Yeah.
I can see that point. Or else it loses its cultural essence, it loses its core, and it has to maintain its core. That makes sense.
This is a good Caesar salad.
Oh. Oh. What a coincidence. The nickname. And is America a white country?
No, I mean, not anymore.
60% still?
Yeah, but it's obviously changing.
I looked at the stats recently. It's pretty crazy how drastically it shifted. When I was born, I think it was almost 80% in 98. 27 years later, it's 60%, 20% decline in my lifetime. That's a demographic change you can see as you grow up.
It's noticeable.
But from the 20s until the 70s, it was pretty much the same, almost exactly the same amount of whites.
Yeah, it's now a multiracial country. That's just the demographics.
Should America be a white country?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that's what it was founded as. So I think that if it ceases to be European, it's no longer what it is. You know, it'd be like taking the Russians out of Russia or the Chinese out of China. Now, I say that as an Italian, Irish, Mexican. My people weren't here at the time of the founding, but if those people aren't there, is it America? If it's all Italians making pizza and Mexicans making tacos and Irish doing their thing, it's something else.
But isn't that natural to what if America is the place of liberty, freedom, the pursuit of happiness, you know, Statue of Liberty, immigration, new opportunity, isn't it inevitable that it becomes the multiracial country it is now?
No, I mean, if you look at the history of how that happened, it was never inevitable. It was basically in 1965, because of the civil rights era, they said it's racist to set national origins quotas and say we're only going to have, you know, this many immigrants from Europe and this many from China and this many from wherever. And so they got rid of the quotas. And then the immigration became extremely diverse. And then in 1990, they basically doubled the amount of immigrants. So now we're getting very diverse immigrants and way more of them. And it was deliberate. I mean, it was lobbied for by immigrant groups and the Chamber of Commerce, the business interests, because they wanted the labor. First they wanted the farm labor, and then they wanted the tech labor. I will say, to your point, it may be inevitable because the immigration pressure is coming from all non-white countries because that's where they're having kids. So why is there pressure to bring in non-white people? Because they're having kids. White people are rebuilding Europe and then not having kids. So, you know, that's the reality.
What's the main reason white people are not reproducing?
No one knows. I think it's modernity. And it's hard to peg whether it's technology, whether it's feminism, whether it's the apostasy from religion, because it's across the board.
Probably all factors.
Yeah. And Asia too. South Korea, Japan, China. They got rid of their one-child policy because they're not having kids anymore. So I think it's something I think it might be feminism. Feminism seems to be a huge part of it, if I were to guess.
Yeah, I believe feminism plays a big part for sure, because men are becoming women and women are becoming so much masculine that we don't want to date ourselves. We're not gay, okay? Act like a woman. But not only that, I believe white people, white Christian Europeans are not having kids because we don't like what our countries have become. Think about it. Do you want to raise a kid now between LGBT flags, even in school, and illegal migrants? Like, it's not that good. You know, from our perspective, our countries are literally flooded with bullshit. People are pushing atheism. People are pushing abortions. I mean, you can see outside, you see more migrants than native people in any Christian European city. But guys, let me know in the comments what you think, especially of the last part of the video. We can clearly see now Sneako is definitely an official Muslim. And leave a like if you want to. Christ is King, and God bless.